And we are live. Hello, everybody, and my name is Jacob, or JC. I'm your Dungeon Master for the evening, and I'm joined here by 5 wonderful people that are somehow gullible enough to let me run a D&D game for them. I'm joined here by Helminia, James, Alpha, Suzanne, and Jazz, each playing their respective characters in my lovely world. For those of you that tune in specifically right here and now, it's a little late. And this session will be noticeably shorter than the other ones. Don't blame these guys too much. Blame me. I hit, just as we hit about a month ago now, our milestone of getting to session 100. I am hitting a bit of a personal milestone of I've just finished my last week of classes for college, and so I had to attend a meeting for that. But they have some things that they wish to discuss, and so we are not here to deny their plans of how to bring down the 7 Ascended. Speaking of 7 Ascended, where we last left off, our heroes got their ass beat by Gordos standing on a volcano, and so defected to Greywall, finding that the city streets were clogged with undead. Rem, taking this as something he could do and do well, went on a holy rampage throughout the streets, clearing thousands of undead from the stone-cold city. After this, they found adventurers that were still alive. O'Brien, Jensen, Kylene, Zivan. These people were still alive in Greywall, and through piecing together what happened, they found out that over the last night, many people died, and there was a good chance that Lackham, before scattering with the rest of the Ascended, went on a hunt for Barris, where the owner of the Spectral Allies is nowhere to be found. The 5 of you reconvened with O'Brien and Jaylene and a couple of the kids that Jaylene, you guys discovered, protected during the night assault at your keep, where you stated your case against O'Brien, the Dragonborn Paladin, of why he should not come with you to fight the Ascended. With heavy hearts and uncertain looks, Gil and Nime and the rest of the group bid the golden-scaled Dragonborn farewell, asking him to protect the city until they come back. And with that, you 5 plane shifted, beaten, bloody, bruised, and exhausted, back to the demiplane, where Zumi and Roxy were both asleep at this time, as it's very hard to keep track of time in the demiplane. However, the 5 of you had begun moving and sorting yourselves out, Nime setting herself next to Azumi, Suna sitting down across from Roxy, and the others beginning to kind of spread out the entryway of the demiplane. The 5 of you find rest. Exhausted, sleep takes you quickly. All of you are, in that moment and that hours of rest, able to level up. You guys went from 15 to 16, and for Nime, 16 to 7, or 16 to 17, damn. 14 to 15. And Nick's my Nime kit. Nime has a tactical vest now, filled with grenades.
Look, I only wear netherite armor.
Netherite armor. I love my Unbreaking 3 netherite armor with thorns. Nime just has a full Minecraft drip.
Oh my god, diamond longsword.
Ooh. Sorry, all you've got is a moonblade right now. Blade of the Lura.
Oh yeah.
Lura, I forgot what language Lura is from moon, but Lura does mean moon.
Is it not Elven?
It's like also just a real language.
Is it Irish?
Oh, never mind.
I forgot what real language. I put a real language and I immediately forgot what that language was. I was like, oh, that's cool.
God. You can't. What?
Yeah, it's a real language. Lura means moon in a language that I've forgotten. Lurra. I don't remember what language.
Basque is giving me the word earth.
Earth?
Yeah.
That's Terra.
Basque. That language is giving me the word earth.
Cool. Whatever. It's okay. We don't need to worry about that because the 5 of you are sleeping.
You kind of worry about it.
You don't need to. Sleepy time. And with that, all 5 of you drift off into exhausted sleep. Your muscles and bodies just giving way, the adrenaline holding you up until this very moment. But, unfortunately, the night does not last forever. And the 5 of you find yourselves waking back up. A full, long rest completed. Without any issues.
Put me back to sleep.
You guys find yourselves awake. And you can see at this point, the only kind of difference is 2 of you wake up with blankets on you, specifically Nime and Suna, as Roxy and Izumi are not, Roxy is not in the same room as you after you've waken up, Suna. And you can, Nime, as you kind of stir awake, you can hear the small, crackle of a controlled flame and the tinking of glass, and you can see Izumi is just working on kind of mashing, creating this bit to be strained for the health potions as he kind of looks over and down at you. I hope your rest was peaceful.
Was okay.
Well, you didn't stir very much, so I figured you needed it.
I really did.
It's been a while since I've seen you sleep like a rock.
Did you sleep at all?
I mean, of course I slept. I apologize for being asleep when you guys all got here. I woke up a couple of hours ago. Figured I shouldn't stir you.
That's very generous of you. Thank you.
You need it more than I do.
With that, Nime's just gonna plop down, laying down again.
Anyone else?
I guess I'll get up.
Okay. You can stretch and kind of hear the pop of your joints kind of stretch. The room of orbs, the crystalline orb room, only has you in it.
I guess I'll leave the room.
Okay. Everyone is awake. You can see Rem and Gil and Zex shifting in the entryway as you walk in. You can see Nimeka just kind of turning over after having finished her conversation with Ethsumi.
I'm the last one up. I guess. Can I go ask for the daily update?
You move over and you walk in to the map room, basically, I think is what I'm going to be calling it. And you can see both the blue and red hues kind of paint the ceiling this multicolor, this kind of multicolor as the two of them kind of shift into each other. Currently, the Doctor and Roxy are both kind of standing in that room. And you can see, basically, as you kind of step in, Doctor kind of begins like tracing his hand and pointing different things out to you. And you can see yourself, Greywall itself is still the deep crimson stain, but at this point it's so deeply bleached red, it'd be almost impossible to tell whether more or less was happening there. In similarity to that is what happened at Shackleforth. The city to the east has basically just the tips of it that have not been filled in crimson. But other than that, it is so deeply stained red you can't tell whether the death is still happening on a large scale or not. Sabline has, again, this continuous drip from a small gash in the center, and you can see it's constant, but very, very slow. The interesting thing is Dacaria is not bleeding as much as it was before. You still see an interesting kind of thing of there is some red to the south of Dacaria now. But the actual city itself, it is stopped stained at about quarter red. The big update to the map, and the one that honestly you probably would want me to talk about first, is that there is a bright red streak that cuts through a bit south of Fourmount. It is not within the city borders, but there is a bright red streak right below Fourmount.
Fuck. Okay. Do we know who's where?
Yes, we do have a bit more. I've set sensors at as many of the outer borders of the cities as I could for you. What we do believe we know, at least, Tilvium is in shambles. We have Kauta, the Goristro-based man there. The
two of them, or...
Kauta is the Goristro-based man. It is one.
What?
However...
Kalung is the
I'm fucked. Kauta... I was still on Fourmount. Fuck. Kauta, by the way, he tells you Kauta's been seen on the outer edges of Fourmount.
Sick, okay.
But Kalung, you are correct, thank you. You guys are better than me. Kalung has walked up to the border of Tilvium, and he walked away, and then the mines exploded in demons. There's a bit of an invasion happening in the Dwarven city. Devils and demons pot the sky, ripping dwarves into pieces, dragging them away. However, the Ascended himself has not partaken in any of the actual fighting. At this point, he moves on from Tilvium, goes to format. Uta, the giant-based one, is running along the fields and orchards. There seemed to have been a mass exodus of quite a few people from the city, but not nearly everyone.
Weird. I can't imagine why.
However, he's methodically killing everyone before moving on to the next patch, so he's hunting for anything, but making sure everything in the quadrant is dead before he moves on. A good part of the Dragonborn city Daycaria is on fire, but the death has actually seemed to mostly stop there. Then I saw that you were all in Greywall. But I'm sure you all know what has happened in Greywall since you've been there yourselves. Finally, all I can tell you about Shackleforth is no one's left it. I didn't start checking the perimeters to see who actually ran in there, but we do believe of when he left Greywall, it was Solozzi. If it is to be believed, he's still there, even though, according to the maps, most of them have been wiped out. No sight of Lackham, and, well, no sight of Zavidnia.
Okay. That's helpful, actually. So what are we thinking with that information? If anyone would like to comment.
I don't have any thoughts. I'm just here to kill things. You tell me where they are, and I'll do it.
Thank you for the input.
Anytime.
Did everyone die?
I think they're all just out of it.
Am I perceived again?
There you are.
You guys,
My internet fizzling. I bet I sound awful.
you do. You sound like you're in a tin can.
I'd love to do something about that, but I don't think that I can. I was stating, because I'm going to keep going, fuck it, we ball, that a problem is occurring, and I want to make them aware of the red clouds and what I think is happening.
You should explain that, yeah.
There are clouds forming above Greywall, and they seem to be congregating heavily from areas with a lot of death, but they're coming from those areas. Now, you talked about earlier about how they couldn't become gods because they could not make their way into the divine realm. I believe that they are going to use, in some capacity, the death that they are causing, because there's no other reason to do that, to break into the divine realm in some capacity.
Okay,
Well,
that seems plausible.
very few things are as powerful as pure sacrifice souls. They can be bent to one's will, they can do many things. If the Ascended truly do consider most forms of life completely beneath them, I doubt they would go out of their way to kill so many people without good reason. So, where does that put you all next?
We follow the blood trail. I was thinking Tilvium, but if it's now happening up in Fourmount, that's also an option.
That would put you against K'uta in the north, or Glung and the demons that he is employing to butcher the city in the south.
So we've decided that we don't want to go to Dakaria then?
No, we're not doing that right now.
I think we have to follow where the death is coming from. If I'm right, which I don't know if I am, I think we should try to get ahead of this as best as we can.
So, what, Tilvium then? Since that's where it
Tilvium?
seems like the largest one is?
Yeah.
Or Fourmount. Either or.
I'm all for Tilvium. If that's where Kalung is, I suppose he'd be the first that I would want to go.
We should also consider, so you said the demons were coming out of the mines?
Coming out of... They're coming... So I only have sensors put on the edges of the city. I'm assuming they're coming from the mines, but there are also demons running in through the entrance, the northern gate of the city. There'll be more that you're able to see once you're dropped on the edge of the city.
Because if we can cut off wherever they're coming from, that would make our job significantly easier.
Either way, there'll be a host of demons that you'll have to go through before you get to the actual Ascended. Element of surprise is on your side, so if you hit fast and hard, unless if some type of telepathic connection is shared beneath the demons, the element of surprise should be on your side.
Alright, are we in agreement then?
I'm all for Tilvium.
Sounds good to me.
All right. If the five of you are ready to go, I'll send you on your way. He kind of steps out of the map room, and he kind of walks over to where a door would be in the actual entryway, kind of steps forward, and you can see he traces his finger in a door shape along the wall, and you watch where his finger leaves. There's this bright shower of sparks, bright yellow and golden flame that carves out the actual outline of the door. And as he finishes the actual rectangle shape, he kind of checks behind him for the five of you. Well, out you go. And he pushes into the middle of it, and you see the kind of almost like a door is stuck with gum or some sort of adhesive to the tip of his finger as he touches the wood and pulls an actual like open area through it, and you can see the kind of deep blue and black sky, you can see the kind of metal reinforced gate of Tilvium itself as the 5 of you begin to step forward, stepping out and off onto the hard packed stone about half a mile away from the gate of Tilvium. What do the 5 of you do?
Is there anything wild I see at the gate?
Immediately at the gate, can I get some perception checks? Anyone that wants to can.
I want to.
I should turn my light on.
No, actually, I don't think I will. Why would I ever want to perceive?
I want to roll dice in a dice rolling game.
Guys, I hate rolling dice.
I hate dice in my dice game.
What do I get here? I do not perceive. 6.
6, 8,
I would
2.
like to perceive.
23.
I also got a 23.
Nice.
I'm looking directly at it, but
I
there's
don't
nothing there.
perceive. I got a 9.
All
Me
right.
and Zex look at the same thing at the exact same time with the exact same amount of focus. We are in sync.
As the some of you are looking and can see the kind of stained and scorched gate entering Tilvium, the city, you can see all of you this large splatter of dark crimson beginning to brown as it dries, slick of blood. The important things to all of you is as you look within, you can see windows of certain buildings right at the beginning through the gate have been ripped open, and you can see kind of like splayed arms in different sections of bodies. Not a single body that you see on the street or hanging from a window is completely whole. There are large chunks ripped or bitten out of every single body in the streets of Tilvium that you can see through the gate. I believe 2 of you got above a 20.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Those 2 of you see something a little bit extra.
I got a 30.
I thought you got... Never mind. So 3 of you. The important thing for the 3 of you is your eyes weren't immediately encapsulated by the horrific sight of the actual gate. You scan the entire surrounding, able to pull your eyes away from the actual northern gate of Tilvium. And you can see, if you head east from the northern gate, there are a couple brown crimson splotches on the ground outside of the gate.
To the east, you said?
To the east.
Over, like, outside of town kind of thing?
Yep. Everything else is either on the gate or behind the gate. This is the only thing that you guys can see there in front of the gate. And it's like a couple hundred feet basically to your guys' left of the gate.
Okay.
To party left.
And we don't
know anything else?
we don't know where
That's what you guys see? You guys got dumped on the edge of Tilvium. It's up to you what you do now.
Keep trudging forward, I guess.
No.
That's what Nime's gonna do.
You're going to start walking towards the gate. Sounds good.
Can we like zap in closer?
Zap in.
Yeah, like teleport or something. And zap in somewhere.
It's up to you. Nime is currently strolling towards the north gate.
Couple hundred feet isn't that far. Nime, wait. Let's check this out first.
Nime is
Real
gonna
quick.
stop in her tracks and look at Zex.
I'll point out the brown splotches.
All right. If you guys all want to head over to those splotches.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. As you guys approach, I would like anyone who wishes, as you guys come across these splotches, to make your choice of investigation or survival. They will give you different results.
Choose investigation.
I don't even know why I try at this point. Today is not the day. I rolled a 3 for a whole 4 for survival.
Oh, let's
And I
go.
I had a 25 for
Okay.
investigation.
If you wish to guide yourself, you can. This is something you're consciously doing. This is not
Oh,
a snap
man.
thing like the
Um,
perception.
I got
Me
a
and
12.
12, nice.
me and Nime are on the same wavelength. I got a 4.
You and me.
Look, we
Against
love
the world, buddy.
4 gang, dude.
Yeah.
My survival comes to a 22.
22.
I don't know how to survive.
Not against this.
Nope.
Survival. Okay. So you guys move up to these splotches. It is very obvious to anyone who rolled above a oh god, is it 15 for blood? Let me find out. It's 15 for blood. Anyone who got a 15, 15 or higher, it's very obvious that it's blood.
Damn.
The kind of interesting thing as Rem, you kind of kneel down and look at it. One, it's several hours old. It's just at the point where, like, it's after everything's congealed into the puddles and is beginning to kind of turn brown at the edges, seeping into the actual, like, stone, probably staining it a good portion. But as you kind of lean in and look at it, this is kind of the pattern of a carcass that slammed into the ground, like it was dropped. And you look a bit further and you can begin to kind of see the outline, and it's like probably about like 2/3 of a humanoid figure that had been dropped on the ground. And you kind of move around to like where their shoulders or their sides are, and you can see kind of groove scratches in the actual stone and padded dirt of gouges where claws had seemingly come in underneath the body and grabbed and picked them up. It is worth noting that there is no immediate footprints anywhere next to these bloody splotches.
Okay.
Damn, guys, what is that?
And then you said we'd get something different for the investigation. Right?
And how high was your investigation?
25.
12?
25. So again with it being blood, again with it being several hours old. I think the kind of biggest thing of it is it looked like it hit and like almost like it's a splatter from it's a splatter from high impact, and as you're looking you can see Rem's focused on these gouges. You're focused on actually the pattern of blood, as the bottom part is undisturbed more or less, but the top part has like the smear motion, and you follow that. If it was picked up, as there's no body here, it would have been begun to drag as they picked it up in one motion, and there's a direction to it, and that direction is east.
Awesome.
With those two high things, you guys gather that something that wasn't leaving footprints dropped a body and then immediately scooped it back up before pulling it in an easterly direction.
This is several hours old, though, you said?
Several hours.
Are we hearing anything?
You're hearing...
Can I perceive with my
Perceive.
advantage?
Sure, Nime, let's see if you hear anything specific.
Okay. Thank God I had fucking advantage. Jesus Christ.
We all have those days.
Oh my God. Okay, so...
Excuse me.
That is a 25.
25. It's very, very quiet until you kind of listen in, and it's just in the background, back towards the city, you can hear the abyssal wails and screeches and cries of different things skittering through and flying across the cityscape. But there's nothing immediately within your vicinity to pick up.
Okay, Nime is going to... just... It sounds like there's something going on in the cityscape. I hear a lot of screaming. And then I guess she's just gonna walk towards the city, since no one has anything to say about that.
I mean, I'm ready to go towards the city. Do we think he's in the city, or do we think he's on the outskirts? He said he never saw him leave, or he never actually went in all the way to the city, right?
He never went in. He was seen at the outskirts and then walked out of the sensor view. If he had walked into the city, the doctor was implying that he would have seen him do it.
So,
Well, I was wondering if he was even in the city.
I mean, did he walk here? Like, did he leave any tracks that we can find? Do we know where the sensor is?
So, the doctor didn't say exactly where the sensor was, but every sensor that he's talked about it like it's been in front of the main entrance to the city. So you would infer that that would be in front of the northern gate of Tilvium. He specifically, or at the very least, Suna would know that one of his sensors is for the western gate of Greywall, but he did not give exact locations now.
Let's start at the northern gate near the sensor and see if he left any tracks anywhere.
Okay, I'm good with that.
All
I
right.
think attempting to fight, like, the demon invasion is... It's up to you guys. I think it might be a bit of a grind. I want to know where he is.
All right.
I'd like to know where he is if we can
Yeah.
somehow figure that out first.
So you guys are leaving the blood splotches and going towards the north gate?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you leave the blood splotches and walk back towards the west, towards the actual north gate from where you currently are. And are you guys just I'd like a little bit more detail. Are you guys just walking up to the north gate?
I mean, he's massive, so he leaves tracks. I'd like to make a survival check as we go to see if I notice what he's doing.
Okay. I will say the last time you guys saw him, he was about the size of a normal humanoid.
Normal humanoids still leave tracks, though.
Normal humanoids do leave tracks. You are not wrong. All right. You can make a survival check.
Can I be guided?
You're looking. It's a conscious thing. You're good. You can add that guidance.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You guys begin walking back, and as you guys kind of approach the actual gate, Rem begins looking to the sides, begins looking at the actual packed dirt and stone, looking for scratchings, markings. And as you all get closer, Rem, you do begin to pick up on some markings. There are different scratches in the actual wall. As you guys get up to the gate, there are many footprints and claws and all these different markings, but you're trying to find something specific, something that stands out. And I think as you walk up to the actual area, it's a bit of a bit of a process, as there are plenty of prints to look at. You're trying to find out what you could assume is Kalung. What are the rest of you doing while Rem's looking at this?
Stealthing and getting a closer look at the gate.
Okay.
I mean, just kind of walking in, just kind of.
You're just walking into the gate?
Is the boots applicable?
The boots would be applicable.
I want to look to the north and see if I see anything in that direction.
Sure, you can make a perception.
Nat 20 for a total of 33.
33. All right.
What was my thing? 11.
11.
Rolling like a squirrel out here.
The important things that you just kind of notice as you just kind of look to the north, there's nothing really to see. You kind of have in your mind that the small town of Bren is up to the north a couple days, but the actual northern view, it looks relatively normal compared to the under attack city of Tilvium.
And I don't see anybody.
You don't see anybody, no.
Lame. Okay.
The Zex, you kind of move up and kind of press yourself up against the actual northern gate itself, taking good care on your boots and just making sure that you are not seen. As Gil just kind of walks up, you can just see his sword over his shoulder, just looking within. Zex, you see Gil just kind of walk in and look. He kind of sets his left hand against his waist and the sword against his shoulder. And Gil, what was your passive, if I could ask you? I want to know if Gil sees it.
I mean, I'd rather you not ask me, but
I
it's
would.
a 16.
16. Okay, so Gil doesn't see this.
Damn, that's not a good thing.
Zex, you do. As Gil stands there, you just look at him just standing in the actual mouth of the gate. And there's this small kind of drop of liquid behind him that just misses his head and neck and hits the ground behind him. And you look at it expecting it to be clear like water or red like blood, and it's black. And you slowly, without taking great pains to not move your head, just move your eyes up. And just behind the actual bars where the gate is shut down, crawling out from the actual mechanical mechanisms, you can see this twisted, elongated black head with these white, pearly eyes. As the head tilts forward, and there's this ever so small groan as these two large curling horns that curl over like a dog's ears, like, remove themselves from that actual section as you realize this demon has contorted itself into the actual mechanism of the gate and is beginning to pull itself out, looking down at Gil.
How far away?
The gate is 35 feet, so probably like 40, 45 from you.
Would this be worth a whole monster? Or just a warning?
We will roll initiative. Anyone who has higher than a 17 on their passive perception is not surprised, as people like Rem and Zex both look up and see this as this thing begins to open its mouth and just silently, like a stone, just drop, mouth open, going for Gilgamesh. But we're gonna roll initiative.
Fog.
Dice
I'm
out,
not
dice
worried.
out, dice out.
Okay.
God is dead and we killed him.
All right, let's party.
I don't want to party anymore.
I don't. Every hour, I'm not ready for this. Please.
You guys are
Roll the dice, man.
Oh, wait, I might be ready for this. Never mind.
It's Nime's passive, isn't it? Kind of hot.
Are you?
Yeah,
Or
no.
is it kind of low?
My passive was 18.
So you're not surprised. So Nima is one of the people that aren't surprised.
Nice.
Half the party's surprised, half the party isn't.
Nice.
I mean,
I just suck,
I'm
man.
like kind of not surprised. When it gets around, it'll make more sense. But like, I'm kind of not surprised.
You're not surprised.
Like, kind of. By like the technicality you said, I am, but like, I'm kind of not.
All right.
The alert feat.
The alert.
Close, almost.
All right. So is anyone above 20?
I'm at 20.
I'm
All
at
right.
25.
There's Nime.
Fuck you guys.
15 up. Okay. 10 and up. Oh damn, you guys.
Oh, no.
5 and
sorry.
up.
I got a
7.
7.
Okay,
Oh.
2 sevens. Would one of you
My
like to
dex
go
is
first, or
higher.
you guys want to go? Dex is higher.
Rem, you
Rem?
go first. But
It does. I'm not surprised. So it like
Sure.
if this is gonna last more than one turn, it won't matter. I'll go first.
And then we've got Gil. What'd you get?
Me,
What'd you get?
6.
I mean, you are surprised.
Even
the trend.
with advantage, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
So,
Amber, you're rolling like me out here.
Yeah,
bro.
I rolled a 1 and a 4. It was really bad.
1 and a 4.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, it was really bad out here.
No.
Wow, that sucks. I also rolled
Don't.
really
I
low.
don't know. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
25.
I
I
don't wanna
rolled
hear
real
it.
low.
I don't want to hear it.
All right. Well, we're gonna start off with Nime. Nime, you see this. You just kind of are like lazily staring off. Your hand, one hand's on your actual blade, and the other one just kind of like fingering the trigger of your actual pepper box. And you glance up as you see this flash of black-skinned movement come from the top of the gate, as you see this thing like dropping onto Gilgamesh, this black mouth opening up. What do you do?
Oh wow. Okay. Gotta act fast, I guess.
That's what you're doing.
Let me look at a thing real quick because I don't want. Has it hit him yet?
It has not. It is about to drop on him. So it is currently about 35 feet above Gil, and you're standing about 20-ish feet away from Gil yourself. So you're gonna need a little bit of range, unless if you're just planning on standing next to him and holding an action.
Uh. Okay. I would like to. Do we have battle map for this? I'm not. I apologize.
We do not. This is just
Okay,
theater of
that's
the
fine.
mind for the moment.
I would like to stand next to him, and I'm also going to cast Circle of Power for it.
Oh, okay. Shit, yeah, Circle of Power works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
I was just like, yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
All right, so Circle of Power. As you take your action, Gil, you're just not paying attention. All of a sudden, Nime rushes up next to you and pulls the sword as this 30-foot circle of energy radiates out from Nime. Everyone has... so this would encapsulate Nime, Gilgamesh, and Zex. Each of you, while you are within 30 feet of Nime, has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Whenever you succeed on a saving throw made against a spell or magical effect, you can take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw instead of half.
You're welcome.
That's
That
pretty
is all.
cool.
That's pretty dope. Nime, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Zex.
Give me an intelligence saving throw.
All right, Psychic Lance.
Yes.
All right, it does have magic resistance, so it will roll with advantage. That is a 17.
That's not quite enough.
Alrighty. Let me see what it is immune to. It is not immune to psychic, so yeah, it's all good.
Immune to incapacitated?
It is not.
That happened before, too.
That's true.
That's kind of bad, kind of okay. 27 points of psychic damage.
27. Sick. 27 points of psychic damage as it begins to drop and is just moving through the actual air, and then right before it actually gets Nime cast the spell, the mouth is open, and then this purple pink lance just shoots through the mouth and up through the back of the head, and it begins just twitching and stuttering, and it is incapacitated.
Trying to keep it quiet. Pass.
All right. It is now the demon's turn as it's incapacitated, and the only thing that it can do is nothing, which equates to it falling 35 feet. As Nime, Gil, there's just this splat of black and cracking of a bone as it falls and slams into the ground and takes 12 points of damage. As there's just a lance and it's twitching. It's still alive, but it can't do anything. Rem, your turn.
Am I within range to Sacred Flame this thing?
What is the range of Sacred Flame?
60 feet?
60 feet, yes you are.
I'm going to Sacred Flame this thing.
Alrighty.
It's a dex save.
And with incapacitated, I believe it might just fail.
I mean, it can't move. You'd think it'd just fail.
But I'm double checking.
And I'll make sure there's no other effect from incapacitated.
It just can't take actions or reactions. So
I mean, it started falling, so it couldn't move either.
yeah. We're gonna double check psychic.
Psychic Lance, it only says incapacitated.
Okay.
Not paralyzed, which is actually what
Got you. So I'm still okay with it just falling. but it will take the it can still, I guess, dodge and shit, but whatever. It's fun, and it only got a 18.
That passes, nothing happens.
And
That exactly matches.
it's twitching this flame, and it's less of the demon rolling out of the way. It's more of Gil and Nime are right in front of it, and you trying to throw this flame through Gilgamesh's legs as it just slams onto it. So the kind of big things are Suna and Gil are surprised. So technically Nime is next, but I know that Jazz just stepped away for a second. So Zex, if you want to do something on it, we'll give Jazz a second to come back.
It's the,
Wait.
the same
What's up?
thing, but
I have a thing.
What is your thing? What is your thing, Gilgamesh?
7th level.
Mm-hmm.
Feral Instinct.
Yep.
If I am surprised at the beginning of combat and I am not incapacitated, I can act normally on my first turn, but only if I enter rage before doing anything else.
All right. Would you like to enter rage, Gilgamesh?
I would love to enter rage.
All right. So Gil, you see this thing twitching drop in front of you, and you just and you can take your turn. You've just used your bonus action.
I get mad that it was near me.
Okay.
Good
Good
so is
catch.
this thing on the ground now?
Yeah, I have it just on the ground.
You know what I do to big things on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hit them.
You just smack them.
And you know what? Let's use my new feature. Let's be a great weapon master.
Alrighty.
Hopefully this
So
works out.
take the -5
5.
to deal extra 10 damage if you hit.
Don't think it matters. 24.
Jesus Christo. Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
I've already raged. This is great.
My man's about to hit this guy for 40 damage.
Man's about to just go,
Can't
oops.
wait to go out of initiative.
Okay, so let's add.
I mean, this was more of like a sentinel at the gate, so
Man, this is just a dude.
Oh yeah.
this
huh,
is
I
this
guess
is
Well,
this is a
probably got
normal
more.
demon.
Oh, I actually might not quite 40, but it's close.
If it's not quite 40, then you've just not quite done the amount of damage that everyone else has done.
Wow, okay. I see how it is.
I was here.
Okay, well then, fine. 35.
35. You're like 6 points off of dealing just the same amount of damage. Yeah, that hits as you guys just hear the sword squelch down, just carving up, and this creature's head just twitches, the mouth agape and drooling with this black slime. I do believe you have another hit to use, Gilgamesh.
I do, and I want to do it again.
You're free to.
I love rolling dice. 25.
25 hits.
Well,
Well,
all the day's
hell.
work.
Well, hell.
This feat is gonna be what changes the world for us.
Just
Um,
goes back to being DPS.
34.
34 points of damage. As you guys see Gil just rake the sword back through the ribs of this thing, spin the sword over, and with the full force of just a man one-handing this greatsword, sets the blade into the open mouth and just presses, flexes, and the head pops like a cork, spraying this black blood all over the actual gate. With that and the soft of the head kind of like rolling slightly away from the blade, you guys are no longer in initiative.
I love it when that happens.
Gil's just gonna keep walking now. But he's like, now he's mad. He's gonna walk. He's gonna
Angry.
walk, but angrily.
Did it seem like it made enough noise to alert anyone that we were here?
From what you can immediately get, you guys can all see, you guys don't.
Do I know what this thing is? I did read the
Demon book.
Devils and Demons Bestiary.
Yeah. I will allow you to make a. I would say I'll let you do it through religion. On this beastie
You know what I'm
boy.
gonna ask you, right?
If you want to take a pause and scratch your chin and magically aid yourself with guidance
Think about this
steroids.
really hot, yeah.
Guidance steroids.
Look, it's a performance enhancing supplement. Perfectly legal in the Olympics. Probably won't need it though. But I like to have it. Dirty 20?
Dirty 20. This is. Yeah, that beats the. This is called a Hope Eater.
What the fuck?
It is a scavenging demon, basically. It is born out of places that have mass amounts of terror. They are born fully formed when terror permeates the streets as thickly as heat does in the middle of summer. They kind of do two main things of what they do. One is they are overcome with basically a hunger for material wealth. They will ransack banks, they will ransack treasure troves, and not steal to keep, but steal to eat. Gold, platinum, silvers. They gorge themselves on it, and it actually hardens their inner shell. They get harder to kill the longer they live because of their inner core becoming forged through stolen material goods. The other thing that they enjoy doing is throwing a like black ichor breath along people and then flying away, instilling more fear and hoping to basically reproduce using the fear that they themselves instilled.
Okay.
But as something that is conjured and can be conjured anywhere from such an easy to manipulate motion such as terror, while they are still demons and are dangerous, they are not like... To ones like you, they're not exactly the biggest threat.
These guys are just like really big assholes, but they're not like
mosquitoes.
like Jack the Ripper kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
like fucking mosquitoes of demons.
Like these are mosquitoes that like might accidentally kill you, but they're just kind of like they're in it just to fuck around and find out.
Yes, you are correct.
I want this explained on stream. What does this mean?
No.
Who is this?
This is Jackie Kennedy. There are memes about it. I'll explain it after. Don't worry about it.
You me this meme. I don't
You
know
cut
what
that
I'm
out
looking at.
right now.
What
Nope.
am I missing?
You're missing young feller memes. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
All right.
Look,
Yeah,
it's
I will
not
not.
her fault. It's
I
not
will-
her fault.
I-
Her teeth are sharp.
I'm not having this disrespectful, degenerate activity in my D&D game.
I don't know what this is.
The important thing, though,
Don't worry
I
about
think, as you guys finish this, is Rem, this demon so rudely interrupted you as you saw something interesting in the prints, in the pathways. Originally, what took you so long is you were looking for prints that looked different, prints that looked something that you could readily tell these are Kalungs. The problem is there are so many prints at the front of the gate, it would be impossible. So you begin looking a little bit differently. You shift your perspective. What prints stand out? Not because of what they look like, but because of where they're moving. Sure, there are plenty of prints that begin running out, or prints lunging in through the gate. But there's one set of prints worn and trampled on that don't do either. A small set of prints that probably would fit on a medium-sized character. And there's these set of prints are moving to the east. They step towards the east before kind of fading out. They don't step into the city. They go to the side of it.
What is on the... Wait a minute.
I'm just right here.
No, I'm east. He's at the Black Knight encampment. That's to the east, right?
It is. About a mile and a half.
That's where he is. Let's go there.
All right, let's go.
Are we sure that's the best course of action?
Do you want us to go in and fight all the demons? I think if we cut the head off the snake, they'll go away.
Are we sure that's where he is? All we know is that the prints are like larger than medium, right?
Well, the thing is, can I bullshit a little bit here?
And the last time
Make assumptions what you want to.
he was in a humanoid form.
Allow me a lot of latitude, though. JC, stop me if I go off the rails.
If you say something completely wrong, I'll stop you, but otherwise, fly.
Even though he changes his form, he cannot change his weight. I would know that these would be his because they're a little bit deeper than everyone else's. The footprints may look different, but he cannot change his mass. It weighs as much as it weighs, no matter what it looks like.
It's magic, though. And
it is magic.
If I polymorph into a bird, I'm gonna weigh a bird, not a Zex.
You will not, though.
So with polymorph does transfer the weight. With polymorph.
See, with polymorph, but he didn't polymorph. But, like, those are his footprints. They're going that way. And I think that's where it would be. Because what else is there to the east? There's nothing else there. Like, what if...
It makes sense to me.
What if Finhelm got the sword from the Black Knight's encampment, and that's why it ended up in Tilvium? What if that's where Kalung originally was? And that's why he went back. That was his thing.
Doesn't hurt to go check it out.
Except for, isn't it almost like 15 miles out of town?
1.5.
It's only 1.5?
Yeah, this is a 15-minute walk.
It's
okay,
the big...
yeah, but
It's not that
let's
far.
jog. Let's make it less. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
It is... The big thing is that the Black Knight's Camp 1, when you guys went to it, it is like slightly around the actual mountain, so it's obscured from view of the actual city gate and all that. 2, the people of Tilvium have no reason to go out there, since the mountains themselves are like incredibly dangerous. Not to you guys, though. And not to a 7 Ascended. Alright.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna stealth again.
are you stealthing for the 1.5 miles?
Yes, and unless I'll have to roll again when we get closer.
I mean, I'll just hold off on it, and I'll just know that you're stealthing for right now, and I'll have you roll if it needs.
Sounds good.
Are you making all of us aware that you're stealthing, or are you trying to play scout?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Or you know what? Yeah, sure. I will go scout it out ahead. Sure, whatever. Because I can be stealthy, and for extra, I'll cast invisibility on myself.
Alrighty. So now I'll have you roll the stealth. As the rest of the party like trots along, you go invisible.
Again.
Jesus.
33.
Jesus Christ! All right. So how much?
33.
33. Alrighty.
If his passive beats that, I will eat my shield.
You'll eat yourself. He'll eat you first. Zex, you kind of take off, your feet lightly skittering along the rock and packed dirt as you begin making this kind of run around the actual kind of cliff face that blocks your view of what the half-night encampment would be. You can immediately see, as soon as it would come into actual view, no longer blocked by the cliff face, there is something very different. For one thing, well, the mountain has a hole in it. A 60-foot long ramp, 100 feet, starting just this gradual decline, almost as if like a mouth of the mountain itself has opened up and is beginning to consume the earth around it. You can see small bone-white shapes just kind of slowly shifting along the entrance to this mouth. How close would you like to get?
How far away is it?
You'd probably be able to see it like a half mile away. It's so fucking big and obvious you're there, but you can't really pick out what's actually at the entrance. You just see movement, since it's partially obscured by the actual ramp slope that leads into the hole in the mountain that has now appeared.
So what I'll do is I'll whisper into the ring, hey, there's a ramp up here coming out of the mountain that's got movement on it. I'm going to go in for a closer look. Let's just keep getting closer until I get more details.
Alrighty. So, what you kind of begin creeping, you realize that that shifting white is the image of this stretched demonic skull, long white and red teeth, each probably about half a foot in length. This massive crawling beast, and what you thought was like originally like 2 or 3 things moving, you realize is this this large devil's head, and then 2 massive shoulder blades that pierce outward like wings and shift almost independently of the rest of the body as it's stalking around like the alien does in Predator. This shoulder-based movement, this slow stalk. You can see these large skeletal knuckles and talons that kind of protrude. You can see the entirety of the actual bone hands and arm. The forearms are drenched in bright crimson. You kind of move closer, and you're not just going up to this devil that's at the beginning of it, as it's constantly shifting between being right at the entrance of the ramp and then moving up to like 20, 30 feet down the ramp. But you can hear it calling out. Do you speak Abyssal?
No. Infernal.
Okay, so you can hear it clicking and trilling, and then multiple trills kind of coming back from further down the ramp that you can't see. You just see it just stalking, like sniffing the air. Just there is no nose, but just two bony slits that you can just hear just inhale of air from, just prowling.
So something of this magnitude might have like myths or stories about it. Is there any check I can make to see if I know what it is?
Religion check.
15.
15. Fuck, it's terrifying, but no stories. No bedtime stories for this one. Just
okay.
a nightmare at the current moment.
Cool. I'm gonna go back to where everyone else is.
Okay. As everyone else has just kind of basically moved. You've basically got that half mile of people. I think the rest of the group, you all got up to that section where you saw the opening in the mountain half a mile away, and you guys were like, yeah, let's wait for the scout to come back. So I'd say that half a mile is probably a good meeting point.
Okay. So big scary thing is coming out of the mountain with like, what was it, a white skull and almost like wing-like appendages coming out of its shoulder blades, right?
Yeah, like basically these two, like, it looks like enlarged massive shoulder blade bones that are like winged and just on his back.
Okay. And it's calling out in a language I don't understand and is getting responses in a language I don't understand.
What do I know?
Because you haven't seen it, but you're getting a description, you can make a religion with disadvantage.
And can I scratch my chin ever so gently?
You are allowed to give your steroids.
Can I make it again when I see it?
I will allow you to make it again when you see it.
Okay. 15. I don't know. I read the book if that changes the DC, but
you got nothing on this one at the moment. The description's
I
too vague. There are a lot of big demons.
There are a lot of things that look like they shouldn't be in this plane.
That's the most true thing that's been said.
Because it lasts for a full hour, so I'm trying to
Yeah,
keep that up as much as I can.
If he's not hiding as he comes back, I'm sure my passive probably catch him.
Yeah, I'll just remake the stealth whenever we go back over.
I mean,
now
we know that he's there. Would I know what language that demons speak from reading the book?
You would know generally.
I would know what it is.
Yeah,
what it like.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what it's saying, but generally, fiends, demons, devils use two general languages: infernal or abyssal.
You said there was no infernal going on?
You did not hear infernal.
I don't think any of us speak abyssal. Is abyssal like close enough to is infernal close enough to abyssal the same way that like elvish is close enough to self that he could pick up anything?
They are,
gone?
if I remember correctly, based off of two separate texts, so they are nothing alike, if I remember correctly. So I don't think you guys got anything.
Do you think we can kill it?
How big did you say it was exactly?
It was hunched, so it is very, very close to again, thinking size and thinking how it walks, think like a little bit bigger than the alien from the movie Alien.
Oh, so not that big.
It's probably
it's bigger than a medium.
It's probably
to a large.
Yeah,
but it's a little weird.
It classifies as large. It is probably, if it stood straight up, 12 to 14 feet tall.
Yeah, we could.
But it
take
is hunched
assuming-
over.
Assuming that nothing too scary comes out of the hole behind it, we could take it.
I mean, my recommendation: save your spell slots if you can, and let Gil take the front.
I'll pull
Let
out my
Gil and
sword.
Mime take the front, and if she wants to play in the sand today.
I can see.
All right. So how are you guys approaching this?
How long has it been since I cast the invisibility?
Were you invisible for the entire jog over?
Yes.
Okay.
For the
I would
not
s-
for. Well, yeah.
I
Ever
would-
since I told them I was scouting.
Yeah, I would say between that, the scouting, observing them, stuff like that, you're probably about like 35 minutes into it.
Oh yeah, I
Can-
still have loads of time.
Yeah,
Can
you
we
still have
bait it away
time.
from the cave?
That's up to you guys.
Do we want to alert them to our presence?
As gently as you can. Try to bait it away from the cave,
Okay.
and then we'll pounce on it.
Okay. Do I need to roll another stealth as I go back up?
You will, because you've technically broken stealth by talking to your homies.
Okay. Well, let's make our way back up then. Oh, that's not nearly as good. 22.
22. Okay. Sounds
That's a
good.
1 and a 9 on the dice.
Ooh. You creep closer. How close would you like to get to this demon?
How big are its ears?
Non-existent. There are slits like the nose.
Okay, well. was
It
quietly-
is skeletal, and the closer you get, the more skeletal it is.
Would like throwing a rock a few like feet away from me break stealth to try and like make a sound just to draw it
Make
away?
a sound.
Like I'm not moving, my footsteps make no noise.
Uh-huh.
I'm just tossing a rock to clack against other rocks to try and get its attention.
Roll a sleight of hand.
I would
I
be up for you to. I would be
absolutely-
up for you to absolutely fucking demolish a sleight of hand check for me, homie.
Okay. Let
The
me check and see
the
if
demon gets
gloves
shades
apply.
by want of channel points. Demon is looking around with shades, which gives it a plus 20 to its perception.
That still might not be enough.
Damn.
Unfortunate.
Did we give him Riz?
He gave
We
the
raised
demon's
him up.
charisma is immediately a 30.
Demons already have like ridiculous charisma.
No, that you're thinking of like straight devils.
31.
Demons are known for like exceptional I think constitution, but not charisma. Demons are the things that like devils will make the deal with you and all that stuff. Demons will just rip you apart.
Okay.
Demons are angry. What was your sleight of
resonate
hand? I got
So-
lost in the riz.
So this wording is weird for the gloves. So it's either a 31 or a 36. How it says it is, while wearing them, you get a +5 bonus to dexterity, sleight of hand checks, and dexterity checks made to pick locks. So if I'm making a sleight of hand checks, whether or not I'm picking a lock, I get the +5, right?
Yes.
Because it's a sleight of hand check. Okay, then it's 36.
So you. How close to the fiend are you throwing this?
I'd like the rock to hit within like 15 feet of them.
Okay. It. You can hear the clicking of the jaws kind of rattling. And it calls back, and you can hear kind of this shrill, like pitched, like it's a half whistle. Like almost like a dog whistle that you can hear a couple more beats of, this shrill, piercing flick. And you can hear this kind of skittering sound as next to this larger one. The larger one does dwarf these these two beings that come out. As these ones are actually small, they're about the size of, like, large dogs, like how a Great Dane would be. But you can see these kind of crawling around on arms that look human and legs that look human, but they crawl around on all fours. These purple, kind of lizard folk looking fiends with these dark purple and blue spikes sticking out of their neck, head, and back as they kind of trill and whistle, looking around, these red eyes darting. The larger fiend kind of like clicks and indicates something, and the other two begin kind of fanning out, like sniffing. They're going to make perception checks.
Oh.
Okay. What was your perception?
My stealth?
Yes, stealth.
It was a 22. I do have
22.
my swords out.
Okay.
Just to be clear.
He uses the sword slowly. And these kind of huffing sounds as they don't seem to immediately click onto anything. And while the larger demon doesn't move, these two small ones begin slowly just like scanning the line and begin kind of like moving and sniffing and like clicking and squealing back to each other. But they begin to move out slowly. One of them kind of in your direction, but not immediate. It doesn't seem to be locked onto you. The other one kind of like perpendicular to that one, as that one's kind of heading like slightly just out in a southwestern, and one's kind of heading in a northwestern direction as they're just kind of scanning and looking for anything.
And is there still like chittering noises behind the big one?
You do not hear chittering noises behind the big one at the moment, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, as the other two pause every once in a while and relay something to the big one before they continue.
Okay. Let's try another stone toss. Same direction, but 30 feet instead of 15 feet away.
Okay.
Give it a little distance. Another sleight of hand?
Yep.
Okie dokie. 20... Oh no, hold on. There's another +5 on there. 33.
33. As the stone smacks down a couple of feet away from one of them, and they snap over to it and begin like snapping and barking and shrieking as the other one kind of moves over the two purple demons next to each other. Okay. Huh. You can hear, like, one of them as they begin scratching as they've found the actual rock. And you see it kind of, like, cock its head. And you can hear the sniff, this inhale. And it pauses. And the head snaps up and looks directly in your direction.
Like it can see me? Or...
The two begin heading in your direction.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of go not in that direction anymore then, and sort of try and circle around to see if they just keep going in that direction.
Okay. You see them just slowly trotting, and you ever so slightly shift. And they walk directly to the spot that you were at. And the one puts its nose down to down to the ground and sniffs. And begins kind of snarling as they have very evidently caught your scent and are beginning to slowly stalk you.
That is pretty unfortunate, I think. So I got the swords out. I'm gonna start slowly leading them back to the party, and as I go, I'll whisper into the ring, "I'm bringing 2 back to be killed. It's not the big one, but it's what he sent out."
Okay.
He set up an ambush?
You guys are welcome to do that. You are interrupted for a second, as one of them is going to make a wild attack, but it is ranged. As you're talking, you're not really focused.
Well, I would like to say, like, I'm not staying within 5 feet of
I
this
know
thing.
you're not staying within 5 feet. That's why it's a ranged attack.
Okay.
And it is a disadvantage, which stops that very obvious wood hit on you, but so it's 16.
That technically hits.
Oh shit. As
What do you mean by that?
what do you mean by this?
My AC is 16.
As that, yeah, I was just like, okay, so one of them goes from being like a 21 to like a 6, and the other one goes from being
What's the
dirty
range?
20.
Because,
80
like, I was thinking
80
like
feet?
15 feet. Oh, man.
Like
80
20, 80 feet, yeah. And it just lobbed it. Oh, it's
Okay.
I was actually using their lower to hit, so yeah, that one will hit you. As you're talking into the ring, you're talking, you're not, you've kind of taken your eyes off of them, and then all of a sudden, this stinging sensation as all of you hear the ring, hear Zex go, "I'm leading them to you," and you look down, and there's this one of those purple spikes just out of your leg, and you look down at it in horror. You'll take I don't have that dice right there. There it is. You'll take 6 points of piercing damage, and as it kind of flares for a second, you will take 3 points of fire damage, which is halved for you.
Oh, so down to, like, what, 2 technically?
2, yeah. As there are 2 spikes, one of them just missed your leg, and the other one slapped right into your thigh.
Invisibility doesn't increase my AC, does it?
No, it doesn't. It just gives disadvantage.
Okay.
Which, it had disadvantage.
Make a con save.
Make a con save.
He has to, actually.
Yeah, you do for concentration. You have to beat a 10.
Fuck me, dice.
That's very fair. Thank you.
That's 18.
18. As you hold on to that, and you can see the spine sticking out of your thigh for a second as the 2 of them just lock onto it before it disappears with your actual invisibility spell. Yeah, they are no longer just stalking. You see both of them just the muscles just tense in their entire bodies, and both of them leap directly at you.
Do I have time to do anything?
Initiative will be rolled, but if you're doing something, we'll just see if you beat them in initiative.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
You want it from all of us?
If people want to be a part of it, or if James can't get out of it, you guys might need to roll into initiative.
I mean, he's bringing them here.
Yeah. He's
How
still...
far
we have
can I
time to
make
set
it
the ambush?
You... Let me check.
Like you said, it was half a mile.
Half
so
a mile.
if he's running for his life, this is going to take about 4
I'm
minutes.
not running for my life, though, because did this technically break stealth, then?
You're...
To get hit, yeah.
Yeah, it did, because you got hit.
Then, yeah, I'll just run for a minute. I
Yeah,
don't have to break
so-
line of sight to re-stealth.
You don't
though,
have to
'cause I'm
break
invisible,
line of
right?
sight, but you still have like 2,000 feet to move.
Mhm.
So, what's your initiative?
15.
15. That is...
Enough to not be...
That's a shame.
Damn it.
One of them is before you, and one of them is after. If people would like to roll into initiative, you're welcome to.
No, I would not like to go into it.
I would actually love
know
to, please. Thank
I
you.
might as
you.
well, I guess.
Hearing
Because
him get
all
hurt,
of you guys
I'm gonna
hear
roll
him
into
get
it.
slammed by something.
Yeah,
But-
fine.
Okay.
We're gonna
Yes.
start off with, I would say the interesting kind of part, because, yeah, we're gonna start with the first of the spine devils, as this one kind of rears, and you see its mouth kind of open as a purple spike kind of begins forming out of it, and it shoots. It is going to shoot 2 spines at you. You are still invisible, so disadvantage. Okay, so the first one is a 6 to hit.
Good.
And the second one is a 10 to hit.
Wonderful.
As it
Why couldn't that have been it?
as it the 2 spikes slam into the ground, you kind of just half stepping away from it as it begins to run and lunge towards you. The next turn, as you watch it whole ass sprints. You can see as the spines begin to like gyrate and stutter, it actually slightly hovers, and it moves 40 feet towards you. Next turn, if it wishes, it will be in melee with you.
Okay.
All right, that's your turn.
I'm gonna. How would it take my action to rip said spike out of my leg?
That would be a free action for you.
Okay, I'll rip that spike out of my leg.
As the purple spine becomes visible as you drop it.
Well, I'm not dropping
You're
it.
not dropping it? Okay.
I'm not. I will reroll stealth though as well.
You will reroll stealth.
That is a 26.
26. Alrighty.
And then I'll start backing away towards the camp again.
Okay.
Or I guess towards where the group is right now.
Alrighty. You begin moving that way. There will be the next spine devil kind of moving, and it will make the disadvantaged attacks because it kind of knows where you are, and it's gonna try.
Even though I stealthed,
You're
and, like, backed
stealthing.
away?
You're stealthing with the
Yes.
invisibility and the boots. It's the thing of you have stuff to do that will give you the stealth,
Well, 'cause
but
I
you
thought
are
the
just in an
rule was
open field.
We couldn't make the attack unless we knew their location.
If
Or at
he's
least had a general
stealth, like,
sense.
Mhm.
if
Like,
he
I'm
took his
full
action to
stealth.
stealth,
Yeah,
which he did,
he did.
and he's now moved,
Yep.
it's like
They
a
don't
new
know where
stealth
I
check.
am.
They'd have to
They,
re-perceive.
yeah, it's
Unless they're going by scent. And if they have your scent, invisibility just doesn't help.
Yeah,
Like, they're gonna make the attack with disadvantage. They are aware. They can smell you now. If that's how he's running it, that's how that would work. Because it's the way different. Like if a dog was chasing you, even though you're invisible, the dog knows where you are.
these.
It would work the
It
same
knows
way.
the direction I went in, but it doesn't.
No, it would know where
I
you
am.
are. If it was going by scent-based perception,
Mhm.
invisibility doesn't help you at all.
Mhm.
Like it effectively can see you
yeah.
more or less.
Um,
it would still have the disadvantage, but like
I do think there is a different thing to worry about in its entirety. The other one is actually going to. You've made a bit of a point, and it's kind of beginning to lose you. But the second one is actually going to turn and begin to fly back towards the larger demon, and it is beginning to chirp and call and different things.
Damn it.
Speaking to it. The rest of the
can't understand it.
Yeah, the rest of the group, you guys are just beginning to full ass sprint towards the thing, or are you guys staying behind the wall?
He got stabbed, so I think we should go figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I guess we'll run up there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We are going to.
You want my number that I rolled?
I think we'll do it in like separate things. You guys hold on to your numbers, but once you guys are in ranges of being able to do something,
Once it's relevant.
because you guys are currently around 2,000 feet away,
Whoa.
so you guys have a while.
How
It's
unfortunate.
it's gonna take a few turns just to get there.
Yeah. So I do think. What was your stealth checks?
26.
26. So you guys are running towards this. That's your guys' turn. We'll go back towards the other spine devil, and it will make the perception check, and it does not seem to immediately find out where you are. Zex, it's your turn.
Okay. I am... That guy, how far away is he flying?
The one that was moving towards you?
No, the one that flew away.
Oh, the one that flew away. And you had moved your 30 feet away, so he's probably 120 away from you now? Because they move 40 feet around?
Does it seem like the big guy is hearing him yet?
Yeah. They're just calling out. It's these shrill yells. You weren't that far away.
Okay, well, I want more to come out and investigate. I just don't want them to know exactly where I am. So I'm going to, avoiding this other one that's moving towards me as much as I can, I'm going to go 30 feet closer. That would put them within 90 feet of me, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And the other bone devil is facing away from me?
The spine devil that's looking for you?
Yes. 'Cause I
Currently...
would have moved back behind them to...
Yeah. Currently it's very close to you, but it's not looking in the correct direction.
How close is very close?
Well, if you're moving straight to get to that straight 90, you'd be like 10 feet away from the other one.
Okay, well, I'm going to knock this guy out of the sky if I can.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
What are you casting?
Old monster.
Ah. On the one leaving,
Paralyzed.
right?
The one flying away, yeah, to try and knock it out of the sky.
Let's see if it's got anything to help it. Sounds good. Would you like a 11 wisdom?
Sounds delightful.
As you reappear, the other one kind of like
I'm not reappearing. The
You
invisibility still stays up.
you
Doesn't it?
cast
Oh,
a
no,
spell.
It doesn't. I cast a spell. Damn it. Okay.
You
yeah,
cast
okay.
a spell, homie. As you reappear, the other spine devil kind of jumps back in surprise as it is flittering, and then the one that was moving away from you calling just gets cut off mid-shriel and falls, hitting the ground and kind of impacting. Is there anything else you'd like to do? You've used movement and action.
Movement, action. I still have bonus action, I guess. Nope. All delightful.
All delight. Alrighty. It just goes straight to the other spine devil as it is going to get its wisdom at the end of this. At the end of it. 13.
No.
All right. So, everyone else, if there's any actions that you guys would like to do that would get you a exorbitant amount of distance, otherwise I'll just count you guys moving. This is where the sending a scout can backfire just a little bit.
I can only move the 50.
Gotcha. So, feels like for right now, Zex might be stuck in the combat with them, as we'll go to the boy.
Here comes the boy.
Here comes the boy.
Hello.
as it just kind of squeals at you, and you can see its chest kind of ripple, and 2 more of these spines just shoot out at you, Zex.
Okay. Hit me.
19.
That hits me.
21.
Also hits me. Ow.
As
Oh, you
hit
squishy
me.
as fuck.
Thunk, thunk, one right in the right side of your chest, 1 in the left side of your stomach. The first one will deal 6 points of piercing damage and 4 points of fire damage.
6 points and 4 points?
Yep.
So 8 points total?
Yes, because the 4 is halved.
Yep.
And then the other one will deal 4 points of, 5 points of piercing and 2 points of fire.
So 6 points?
Yep.
Yep.
And as it just kind of screams at you, that is its turn. It goes to you now, Zex. You do have to make a concentration check for that monster, 2 of them. DC 10s.
Okay. That's a 12 on the dice. That's a 10 on the dice. We're good.
Alrighty. You hold on to the other one. Zex, it's your turn.
How far away from me is it?
10 feet.
Does Zex know what these things are?
I will allow you because it is during... I mean, you know that they're a type of devil, but that's about it.
Right. That's it? Okay.
You've seen them fly. You've seen them shoot spines. Those spines grow out of them. It's fucked.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and kill this thing if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to use the voice to do it, though.
Sick.
So, we're going to start up here. Let me make sure I'm understanding this. Okay, yeah, so when it hits, I can make the flare. So, I make 3 attacks. First one is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Lovely. And I will choose to flourish, and I'll use an inspiration die for it.
Hell yeah.
The flourish I am choosing will be... just the defensive.
Okay. Give me damage.
Yep. I'm doing it. So that is a 8 slashing.
Okay.
4 psychic.
Okay.
And then 8 more slashing.
So 20 total?
Probably.
Was it 8, 4, and 8?
total.
Yeah.
Yep, 8, 4, 8.
Okay. As you carve through it, you slice off basically one of its arms as it kind of screams, and this purple-green blood oozes from the wound. You've got another attack on you.
Yeah, I do. That is a 15 to hit.
15. You don't have to roll damage, as its neck is exposed as it screams, and you take advantage of it and cleave it, cutting the scream off mid-sentence. As the head flies and hits the ground, it is dead.
Lovely. Can I glance back and see if anything else is making its way out?
You can actually... the more important thing is what you don't see. You don't see the top of the bony demon.
Okay, how long will it take for the other people to get out here?
Granted, it would probably take like 3-4 minutes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the other bone devil. I'm going to start making my way over
Spine
there.
devil?
Or spine devil. I'm never going to get that.
What? I specifically was
I
like,
have-
there are spines
There are
on these
spine
ones.
devils. I know. My brain no work.
Brain no working.
But I still have 30 feet of movement because when I make an attack action, I get 10 feet extra movement that I've been forgetting to use this entire campaign.
Hell yeah.
So 30
Nice.
feet in that direction.
Okay. So it will get its wisdom to maybe break out before you can smack it again, though.
Okay. How far away from me is it when I start moving?
40 feet. So
40 feet?
you'll be able to fucking annihilate it. It got a 16 on its wisdom. Okay. So you're allowed to make the attack, since it's paralyzed, at advantage at it next thing. As everyone else can just see Zex. You can see Zex with the golden swords flashing in and out, and then as one of them falls, you can see him walk over. Make your attack.
24 to hit.
Yep. You crit.
Oh, I do.
Because it's
Is it
paralyzed? It's auto crit with paralyzation.
Oh, man. Well, this thing
If you hit, you crit.
Gonna fucking die.
That's the point of auto critting.
$15 points of slashing.
15 points of slashing.
8 points of psychic.
8 points of psychic. That's with the doubling?
That's with the doubling.
Okay. You will have to hit it a second time, as it's still barely alive.
Okay, I don't think that'll be a problem.
I mean, you've got an extra attack. Everyone just kind of watches Zex plunge one blade in and then slash with the other one, as the others you can see the now purple skin for the rest of the group as it shudders and then goes silent.
Okay. So I don't need to make the second attack?
I don't think you need to. I think between that and the bonus action at advantage, with a plus more than enough,
Okay.
I think you'll be good.
I'm going to whisper into the ring that I've dealt with this situation, and then I'm going to drop prone and stealth again.
Okay. Make your stealth.
The boots won't give me advantage on this, right?
They will not.
Yeah. That's okay. I didn't need it this time.
Sick. Good for you.
29.
29. Yeah, you kind of drop to the ground, kind of lean the swords up against your side to hide their shimmer and gleam, and wait a couple of minutes, let the adrenaline kind of move through your system, and by that time you can hear the sounds of Rem's armor and Gilgamesh's sword, as those two have a little bit extra movement on the rest of the group, with Nime and Suna closely followed behind.
Are they still coming out?
Unless if they stopped. None of them said it.
Yeah, because I said into the ring that it was fine and I handled it.
If he says into the ring, that's fine. If he handled it, I will begin stealthing.
All right. The group who wishes will make a stealth check. Those who don't, you guys are in charge of your own destinies.
Okay, I'll stealth.
When's the last time I stealth?
Okay, 17.
Oh,
17.
Oh my God.
Stealth.
Okay.
I rolled a 20 and a 17, so I have a total of 25.
Wow.
I'll just tell you this. Mine isn't going to go that well.
What a twist.
That feels fitting. I got a natural one.
Nice. It's Gil you do still hear Gil just actually walk up.
Yeah.
Gil, you kind of look down. Zex is just there. You can see this
passive high enough to catch me in the dirt.
I mean, you're not hiding from him is the big thing about stealth.
Okay.
And so he can see quite like if you're hiding the voice from view of the opposite direction, the gleam of the gold swords are probably pretty apparent to him.
Okay.
As they just kind of walk up, and Gil, you look down, and you can see the gutted devil that is just next to Zex's prone form, and you can see the kind of the quills, the little holes in his actual like tunic and clothes of the quills that he's picked out of himself while he's been waiting for you guys.
I know what this thing is, right?
I'm pretty sure you'd be able to easily get the DC for it, but I'll have you make the religion check just in case.
I'm gonna gently scratch my chin.
Gently. The gently is the important part.
It might be necessary.
Ooh.
16.
16. These are, in fact, spine devils. They are lesser devils and demons that are often taken command of, and basically they have this kind of like liquid fire that runs through their form that they imbue their quills with. And they can shoot those quills.
Is there anything I can harvest from this that will help us in this coming fight? Like, they don't have poison sacks or anything, but is there anything I can take from them that will perform?
Fire sacks? ?
We're fighting Kalung.
You are fighting Kalung, so if you don't think a fire quill will help you, then a fire quill won't help you, but fire quills are probably the most interesting thing.
What do they do? I know that?
Their quills they have a bit of blood flow that go through them, and it acts kind of like a bee stinger, where once it pierces, it naturally flows the liquid fire blood into the occupant.
Can Mime put these in her gun?
It would be pretty fucking cool, but these things are like the size of like rulers.
My question remains the same. Can Mime put them in her gun?
No, but you guys can stab people with them. You cannot put a ruler inside of a gun. Case closed.
Do you think these are relevant?
Try real hard.
What if you wish it? No.
Can she tinker them? With her tinkering and
honestly,
fuckery,
I think,
can we put these in her gun?
I think with her tinkering, I think it would be more about extracting the liquid fire blood and using it to like engineer a bit of like an incendiary round. I don't think literally shoving the actual quill into her gun will cause any good. I don't think any good will just come of whole house. Just get in there.
I'll gather as many of these as I can.
I'll take them if I can.
Okay. There are the two of them.
I'd like to do this quick, so it's gonna be a little nasty.
All right. You can make the nature check to harvest.
Can I be a little bit guided?
A little bit guided.
Can I use medicine instead too? You let me use it when harvesting animals. I don't know if it's gonna be like for this. It's your choice.
I'm just gonna say nature right now.
Okay. A guided nature. Not relevant at all. 24.
24. Okay. There are on these things physically you kind of like move between quickly gathering and snapping some of them, and you realize it's not that big of a deal. You just need to snap it directly at the base, put your hand flush to the skin and snap it, and you collect 12 of them.
It's like breaking crab claws.
Yes.
From like rock crabs.
Or survival, did you say?
Nature.
Nature? Okay. That's a 12.
Mm-hmm. It's just you guys moving, you get 12 of them total.
Between both of us?
Between the two of them, yeah. Between the two actual bodies.
Hold on to them. I'm not going to be doing any kind of thing.
So I'm going to put 12 spine, devil spine. And we'll figure that out before we head to bed. It shouldn't be too difficult between the both of us.
But you all are about probably like 100 feet from the ironically 100-foot long ramp into the mountain.
I want to make a perception check.
Sure.
29?
29? You don't see anything. But you do hear just this small, you can hear of almost like a large insect just shaking and rattling near the end of the ramp. Like right near the actual mouth of the entrance.
Okay.
There's stuff waiting.
We're here for Kalung, and only Kalung, yes?
We're here for Kalung and only Kalung, but if we have to kill some things in between, let's do that. But I'd like to save as many spell slots as we can. Like,
I'm gonna walk up the ramp.
Walk down.
Walk down the ramp. And I'll shout into the cave. Kalung, we're here for you. Are you really gonna let your underlings do your dirty work for you?
As you kind of walk partially down the ramp,
I'll shout that in Infernal.
and
I
you
need to give something to Nime.
shout that. What do you give to Nime?
Hey, Nime,
Hey.
take this. And can I give her two things?
Do what you need to.
One
Mm-hmm.
is, let me see, where is it? That wyvern poison I have.
Oh, yeah.
So 1 dose of wyvern poison, and take a vial of holy water.
Oh, okay. Can I put holy water on my bullets?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a standard ammunition thing, so 1 serving of poison coats 3 bullets. So
Aw, man. So it'll only coat 3
you can
bullets with holy water?
with that and holy water, between the poison and holy water, you can make half of your shots poison and half of your shots holy.
Heck yeah. Okay.
And then you'll have to reload, and then they'll be normal. But
I'm just imagining bang,
okay.
bang, bang. That does nothing. How about this? Bang, bang, bang. Fuck! What is this?
the question is
cannot
which
wait.
one. But Nime,
With my
kinda,
demon knowledge, can I tell her not to use what to use and what not to use?
You generally know. You do know more about demons than the others.
I read a whole book.
Yeah. For you know for a fact for the devils, the spine devils, poison doesn't work.
Don't use any of the poison. Use the holy water.
Okay.
But Nime, you kind of look at this holy water, and it's just kind of sloshing around at the bottom of this glass vial, and then you hear Zex shout in a language that I don't believe any of you understand out. And Zex, as you're the only person that can directly see this, you watch the mouth of the cave almost become alive like a buzzing bee nest, as you can see more purple hands and claws grab at the top of the mouth of it, and more of these spine devils kind of move up and over, hissing at you. And you can see bright yellow burning eyes of the initial demon, the boned, hunched over massive demon, looking at you as it begins talking and clicking, as throughout the edges you can see more of these spined devils kind of clamber out and hiss at you. And as your grip tightens on the swords, as the rest of the party can hear this cacophony of devilish and demonic activity happen between you and the first ascended that you wish to fall, we're going to end the session there with the assault on the cave of Kalung. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I understand that this is a quick, nice 2-hour session versus the normal 3.5 that we do, but it's how it is at the moment. Things are a little weird. I'm just glad that we all got to get together and have fun times. You've killed a couple devils, you've seen a couple demons, and you're on a bit of a warpath. We'll see how this goes next week. A personal thank you to Jazz, Suzanne, Alpha, James, and Helminia for joining me. Thank you to everyone who is watching. If you haven't followed yet, make sure to follow on Twitch. If you're watching the rerun on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. But anyway, that's all for this week. And we'll see you all next time. Take care, guys. Bye.